So I started this video initially taking everything apart for the install of the exhaust, and I had taken off the windscreen, the center panel, two side panels here, took off the whole cluster, the whole gauge right here, took that all out, unplugged it, took off the boot, did everything. Was taking off the fairing when I realized, oh crap, I have a strip bolt right here and I couldn't get it off. So decided to do it another way, and I'll just show you real quick. The easiest way to install one of these exhausts was I used an extender, a couple of them kind of jimmied together just to reach in there without touching the headers themselves or scratching up the stock ones, and I just took off those two bolts on each one, so there's 4 total. And the initial stock muffler, which is right here, is held on by this bolt right here. It goes all the way through and it bolts on the other end. There's also a single bolt here that holds it on, and once that's all loosened up and the bolts are loosened up here, it pretty much just slides out. And if you take off the quick rivets on your bike, the big ones here, so you got the one in front right here, and you have, I don't know if you can be able to see that, but there's one here I believe and one right there, if you can see that. If you take those off and you just give it a little spread, you just give it a little, you hold it aside. I definitely recommend having a buddy with you to give you a hand to hold the exhaust so it doesn't drop out. Also put something on the floor to make sure if it did fall, it didn't get scratched. When you hold it apart, it just literally slides right out. You're going to want to try and slide it out through this part right here and drop it out. And the Yoshimura one, the full one, actually goes in way easier because of the way the pipe is. This is a single piece and it's thin. It just goes right up in there. Again, have a buddy help you hold it up. Put back in your full bolts on the new clamps right there, and you're good to go. It was actually so much easier than I thought it'd be. So I actually took apart the whole bike for absolutely nothing. So once again, all you do, 3 quick rivets here on the bottom of the bike. Take out the 4 bolts there. The 2 bolts, oh sorry, I did also take off this little cover right here. What that did was it allowed me to get easier access, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, to the 2 bolts that are inside. The one that goes through to the other side, and this single one, which hopefully you'll be able to see like that, right there. Muffler just drops right out once you get that off. Pop this one back on. It does come with spacers. However, if you put in the spacers, you're practically rubbing against the tire. I mean, you can see how close I am right there already. So, you definitely don't want to put in those spacers as is. You'll just end up being so close to your tire that I don't know, I wouldn't trust it. One thing I was worried about was I'm a tall guy, so I got these lowering pegs already installed, and I was concerned that I would hit, because it's not meant to be there. But no problems. It fits just fine. And you gotta love the sound of this exhaust. It is just angry. It's mean, especially with the silencer removed. Prior to installing the exhaust, I had the actual baffles removed when I put in the K&N air filter in the bike itself, and that did give it a throatier sound, a lot more intake noise and acceleration, but I didn't think it was necessary once I put in the exhaust. So when the power commander was being fiddled with, when we were installing that, I actually put the baffles back in the intake, and I'm happy with it. It's fine. There's no reason to have them out. I mean, if anything, it just directs. Yes, it slows it down by putting a little bit of a turn in the air. It's like a 45-degree angle, but what it does is it angles up into the actual air filter itself, so it just pushes it straight up and directs the air better, in my opinion. I don't know. I have no problem with it on. Maybe one day I'll take it off again.